So
Yeah,
today we have Shwatank with us. He has a number of years of experience in Oracle DBA, and currently he is working in MDocs as a database administrator. So yes, Shwatank, thank you for being here as a guest and to guide our students.
sure. Thanks a lot, Akanksha, for the warming welcome introduction. Hello, hi everyone. Very good evening. Well, I would like to know that are you guys are new to the IT industry or like someone who is not working in or like already in the IT industry? Like, can anyone tell me about themselves? Like, I see many people over here, Kunal, Shubham, Pratiksha.
Uh, yes. Hi, sir. Actually, we
Hi.
are mixed. Like someone of us are going to start their career in IT, and someone are already in IT industry. They want to change their no path.
Okay. You were Shubham, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay. So, well, one thing I would like to talk about is while learning any technology or anything like when it comes to learning in terms of you can say let's talk about our IT profession, any technology, it takes an ample amount of time to understand the logic and how it works with the real world industry. So I would let's start with a step by step. First of all, I would like to know that uh, is anyone like currently working in the DBA profile?
Yes, I am there.
All right, I Anil. So can you tell me what all experience you have?
No, I recently joined in TCS. I got an Oracle DBA project.
You got
I
an
have
Oracle
experience of
DB.
5 months only. Just I have started my career.
Okay, that's great, wonderful. So I presume you must have a good idea about the architecture.
Yes, in class as well. I yes, I have some.
All right. Anyone else who can tell me who have studied the architecture thoroughly? Like when it comes to the Oracle database architecture, a basic architecture. Okay, guys, I need some hands. Okay, no worries. It's fine. I guess I have only Anil with me over here. It's okay. So since see you would be starting learning the Oracle DBA, I would suggest first of you all of you to understand the architecture. At least take yourself for 2 to 3 days and get aligned you can say uh, okay, what stands for like database and what is a relational database, non-relational database, what are the asset properties of the database, how we used to go ahead and create the table, and then you may go ahead and start reading about the relational database Oracle tool, what kind of flavors does it have. And after that, just go ahead and read a small Oracle documentation over the architecture, understand it thoroughly, like how uh, like uh, you can say how an instance background architecture is made, because instance is a collection of SGN plus background processes. So does anyone know about Oracle instance here?
Yes, hello.
Okay, yes, Pratiksha.
Hello.
Yes.
So basically, Oracle instance is a combination of SJ plus background process. There are many background process uh, I'm now confused. Sorry about that.
No worries. It's absolutely
Uh,
fine.
I think there is like server process, and
writer, log writer,
yes, log writer, DB writer. Then there is database buffer cache and reader log buffer. That is a SJ part, not an like background process. But I'm still confused. Like I'm sorry about that.
No, it's you don't need to be sorry. It's perfectly fine. See, guys, everyone, let me remind you, it's okay that if you don't know the answer, still you speak up. That's a pretty much good confidence you have, and everyone should have it.
Actually,
It's
I
okay.
didn't recognize the name particularly, but I know how it works and all the things goes on. So
I understand. The reason, just I was checking with like every one of you just to understand that how much you guys need to go ahead and work in the right direction for
okay.
understanding the basic DBA steps. Okay, so thank you, Pratiksha, for speaking. Now let me continue. Well, if I talk about my experience, it was back in like you can say 2016. I started my career with HCL Technologies. So initial at the stage of my career, I was not an Oracle DBA. I was working with the in one of the projects, US based projects, and I was working as an incident manager. So later on, I got an IGP and I got this opportunity to learn this wonderful technology, which I really like and admire about because I like to play with data. So that is why one of the like you can say one of my merits and likes and admire towards to learn this technology. So well then I tried some courses over the Udemy. However, it doesn't help me thoroughly to understand the concepts, but eventually I end up in one project and fortunately like I got selected. So there was a project with the rack base and rack is an another technology in Oracle which is an high availability database operations running on the you can say in the IT industry. So well for that like I firstly need to like make understand and build up my you can say core strong with respect to the DBA, the basic core, like how uh, a database gets created, how instance gets created, how user incoming connections made to the database. This all ability we can only get whether we understand first the architecture and as well as you need to perform the practical. So, likewise, the most honorable Ankush sir, like once he teaches his practical and theoretical concepts, you guys would able to understand this because in his classes, I used to go ahead and stay like alert all the time, like how uh, where I am missing the concepts. Likewise, Pratiksha, like you told me that you know the background how it works, but you don't know the terminology. It was initially with me too. Like I wasn't able to go ahead and grasp. Okay, what is this background process? I understand that these are the five mandatory background processes that you guys must have heard about, like checkpoint event, then Rico, then log writer, DB writer, like and there are another more background processes that you will learn while working as a DBA in IT industry. So well, these five mandatory background processes, we go ahead and teach you as a fresher. And as a fresher, we should understand because if these background processes are not running, our DB will not come up. So that is a reason. So my suggestion for each and every one of you, like once you're studying any topic, understand why it is there. Just and okay, this is the first maintain a document. Try to maintain your notes. Okay, understand, draw the architecture, keep the architecture in mind, and after understanding the architecture, once you create a database, just go ahead and try to make a user connection and check how it is happening, how it is working. Okay, this is how it's going to work. Then analyze yourself. Okay, this much I need, this much my users needs to go ahead and connect over the DB. How you can connect it. So these all things like you can start from, and after that, later on, you can say that okay, yeah, I do have some core basic concepts like how does the Oracle database works with respect to the data flow. And likewise, after like getting all the sessions, I got selected in one of the startups, and it was a very great opportunity for me to go ahead and build the databases from the scratch, including giving the DR solutions. With DR, with respect to, I say, disaster recovery solutions. Let's suppose if I talk can give you a thorough idea in Hindi. Let's suppose कि मेरा एक database चल रहा है application के साथ, और मेरा एक दूसरा उसका replica भी बना हुआ है. अब वो डेटाबेस मेरा चल रहा है और रेप्लिका भी उसके साइड बाय साइड वहां पर कॉपी हो रहा है और अपडेट हो रहा है. ठीक है, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट टर्मिनोलॉजी विद विच कम्स विद द डेटा कार्ड, गोल्डन गेट, एंड एक हाई अवेलेबिलिटी इंस्टेंस जिसको हम बोलते हैं रैक. वो भी एक डिजास्टर रिकवरी का पार्ट है. ये सब आगे जाके आएंगे, लेकिन यू विल गेट एन आइडिया ओके हाउ इट वर्क्स. बट उसके अलावा, जैसे इफ यू गो अहेड एंड अंडरस्टैंड दिस कि अच्छा मेरा डिजास्टर रिकवरी ऐसे काम करता है. लाइट सपोज कि मेरे एप्लीकेशन के साथ चलता हुआ डेटाबेस एकदम से क्रैश हो जाए किसी भी XYZ रीजन से, तो मेरे पास एक खड़ा हुआ बिल्ड उसका कॉपी वर्जन है. हाँ, थोड़ा बहुत डेटा लॉस होता है कहीं कहीं इंस्टेंसेस पे. उसके लिए क्या एक आपको थ्योरेटिकल कॉन्सेप्ट और प्रैक्टिकल कॉन्सेप्ट रिवाइज करना है, दैट इज बैकअप एंड रिकवरी. कि उसको मैं रीबिल्ड करके कैसे एप्लीकेशन के साथ उधर लेके आऊँ. आप बैकअप एंड रिकवरी रिवाइज करोगे, डेटा कार्ड स्टेटस, द प्राइमरी एंड स्टैंड बाय, you will revise. I know some of you might doesn't know the term, कुछ लोगों को पता होगी ये terms, but you will get an idea. अभी just tell me one thing, like on which chapter you all are, like, okay. Okay, sorry, Rajendra. I'll go ahead and talk in English. Sorry.
So actually, we just started our database classes, and we just went through with the database architecture only, and remaining is pending. We'll continue with that.
All right. So you guys only have started with the architecture. So, so you have like your session with the architecture was like yesterday, or like it was just 2 days back?
Yes, it was in last week only. We have completed.
Last week. Okay. So
Yeah.
how many of you have gone through and revised it? Like likewise, I asked in the first place. Like Shabat, if I talk
Actually, I
about
have revised it and done the practical as well, and some of the concept which are actually clear, and some of the concept which is not
which
clear,
Oracle
still
version you
under
have used?
19C.
19C. How about why don't you try over the 12C as well and 11G? See, the reason I'm telling you each and every one of you is that you should try the latest version and as well as the older versions, because there are projects right now in the IT industry where we are still application is running on Oracle 9i, 10G, 11G, 12C, and then 19C. So 19C, you can say it's a latest version which most of the IT services and industry are working on, but 12C is also there. So just go ahead and give a shot over the 12C. But you will understand the features, like what all of features are there in the different versions. But I would recommend all of you to go ahead and install 12C as well. Just try to like play with your database binaries in one server.
So definitely we'll try that as well, because we just started. So we need to understand one, then we can go for next one.
Yeah, sure,
Right.
absolutely. But my only point is that if you have installed the database instance and Oracle database software, so it's actually a great going, like you are proceeding ahead, and likewise, if I told you that you would have did some practical. Okay, so uh, So I would say that architecture is one, and then there are some new chapters like with the users management, table space management, security management. You need to practice all these, like once studying the topic and implementing it side by side. If you will do that, honestly, in like I would say 5 to 6 months, you will have a good knowledge of a person who is working in IT industry for like 2 years at least. If you will go with this Vanda, like once you're studying the topic, you will need to implement it. You need to ask yourself questions. You need to look out for the questions. Try to do some troubleshooting check. Okay, like let's suppose anyone heard of this terminology database listener?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I would say like if my listener is not working, then what all cases would be? Did anyone checked on this?
Users will not be able to connect to the database.
Yes,
New user
that is the
can't-
reason. Like,
We can check.
what could be the cause?
No new connections can be made without listener.
Okay, one interesting question with this listener. Like, let's suppose I'm connected to my database, okay, and eventually my listener has went down. So I'm trying to log in with my database with another session, and I'm receiving an ORA error. What will happen to my existing session?
It's not connected.
One
Session
by
will
one,
still
guys.
remain.
Still
Existing session will be continue, but new connection will not
not
get
allowed.
connected.
Okay, okay, that's
So your listener is not connecting the database due to listener error. It might be issue with the port that you are not getting right port as well.
yes, that is one of the issue. Let's suppose if my listener is down.
Old users will be connected, but new users will not be connected.
Thank you, Somendra. Okay, just guys, honestly, I hope you're not looking into Google. Yeah. If you don't know, it's fine. But if you know, then only answer, because I can understand like if you will go ahead and look out for the Google and search for answers.
So actually, what happened for our batch, listener is not completed yet. So it just started, and even we have not done with the practical part as well. So what happened previously when I was doing the SQL, so I was connecting to the database. At that time, I was not able to connect, but due to listener issue. So there was a issue that I was putting the port ID, port number that was not correct. So that is why I have checked on the Google and I have fixed it. So that is the reason I know about this.
Okay,
But
that's
yes,
nice.
I have
You
not
might have
went through.
entered that in the tnsnames.org and
Right,
listener.org.
exactly.
Yes. So okay, there is one, like if you can, everyone can write it down. Like this is a good question. Like what is the difference between the TNS entries and listener.ora entry? So you guys can get an idea about the difference. Just go ahead and search it over. And if you will have any doubts, you can reach out to me over the LinkedIn. Like I can obviously ping you. But yes, Rajendra, that's good. But I want for the guys like who don't know, so they can just go ahead and write this one of the questions. Okay. So now let me talk about okay, one thing, like just one small tricky question with the architecture. If you guys must have read it, like what is the like if my user is going to make a connection and the connection is established, which process involves in making the connection?
Thanks, Siraj.
Server process. Server
Wonderful.
process make the
Excellent.
connection.
Excellent. Excellent. May I know your name? They're like, it's coming iPhone, so
It's Vijay Patel.
Vijay Patel. Okay. Yes, nice answer, Vijay. This was okay. This is also one of the questions which comes up in the interview. They'll make you like confuse. Okay, my server is running, a server process is making a connection. Okay, let's suppose if I want to fire a select query, how it will work. And now this question is for one second, Arpita. Okay, anyone wants to volunteer?
Can you please repeat the question?
My question is, if a user has made a connections and they want to fire a normal query like select star from employee table, how it will work in the database?
We didn't understand. Could you please repeat again and explain?
Yes, Shannon. My question is that let's suppose I am connected to the database. Now I want to fire one of the queries. Like let's suppose I have an employee table in my DB. And I want to go ahead and select the records for the employee table while just firing a normal query. Select star from employee. So can you tell me like how what all processes are involved while I'm running this select statement?
Like first it check with the syntax checks, and next go to the semantic check, and next we'll go to the optimizer. Like in syntax check, it should be checked that the statement is correct or not. And when it comes to semantic check, the table is, when we get information that the table is exist or not, or we have privileges to see that information, that user has privileges or not, that is a semantic check. When it went to optimizer now, that before, when we perform that statement before or not, it is a new, here the execution plan will create.
Okay. All right, and there is one thing which you where you have missed. So anyone like who can go ahead and answer this question?
Yes, please. Anyone client uh, um, like then first of all it goes to
Yes,
server
Farhan.
process. Anyone client fire command of like select a star from table name, then goes
Farhan,
to
yeah, you are speaking quite low for me. Like I cannot hear you. If you can speak loud, it would be
Hello,
great.
I'm audible. Hello.
Yes, Farhan. Yes.
The, first of all, we connect to server process, and then after that, the listener and will goes to instance, and after that the SGA. Like SGA is uh, check of
Okay,
semantic.
no worries. I wanted to go ahead and read about it, Farhan. Anyone else? Like there is something which someone has missed. Pavan,
Should I?
yes, Pratiksha, go ahead.
Okay, so whenever user performing select statement, that then firstly it is like check on the data. If it is checking data present in the database buffer cache, if the data is available, then the user will getting their data. If data is not present, then this data will like pulling from the data files which is already present in the the data will stored on the data files. So the data will pull from data file to data buffer cache, and that process called server process. So after data like comes into the data buffer cache, then user can pull those data.
Okay, you are telling the term that is related to the soft parsing.
Okay.
So okay, no worries. Like, but there is something which you have missed, and that was answered by Anil partially. But okay, Anil, like you answered one question. Sorry, this answer that SQL text check and semantic check. So would you like to explain that what is semantic check?
There are user permission, user access this table or not.
Okay. All right.
Like we
So
have roles to, we have role that can be able to access the table information,
all
or
right.
the table is exist or not first.
Okay. So let me explain you guys. Like let's suppose if I'm okay, now let me explain you the right way to say and about this answer. Like if you're firing a SQL statement, first of all, Oracle will go ahead and find out that table is present or not in the database with the metadata, and in which portion of SGA it will work, that is shared pool. Pratiksha, this is for you. Like you are directly entered into the buffer cache. It does not happen. First, in the buffer cache, it will not go. First, it will go to the shared pool. So in the shared pool, like you will first get to know that if my table is present or not. And after that, if my table is present, then you will go ahead and check, okay, coming to the Anil's answers, yes, so SQL text. If you are entering the correct SQL text, if there is any input which you have entered with the wrong way, so it will throw you an error that there is a long SQL error text. So you need to ensure that you are writing the correct SQL code for that. Once it is done, it will pass on to the semantic check, which works very quickly to check whether the user has privilege or not onto the table, or that particular table is owned by that user, or it's a different object. So once that is done, after that, it will create an execution plan, and for that execution plan, there is a plan hash value. Every SQL ID has needs to go with that plan hash value. So once it will create a SQL ID and it will check with that plan hash value. If it's already existing with the answer which Pratiksha said, then query will directly return from the database buffer cache. If it's not there, it will fetch the data from the data files to the database buffer cache, and the buffer cache will return it to the client. So this is the answer. This is the, like you can say, correct answer, and so it's okay. But you will be able to collaboratively able to understand, okay, this is how you need to give a proper definite answer. From the next question, interview will not talk about any kind of thing with related to the architecture, that how a user is making a connection, what is soft parsing, hard parsing, because you have given this one particular answer in one go for at least 3 to 4 questions, and he will judge you, okay, you know that you know how things works around, and you can play with the database easily, and you can handle it, but not play with the production. Guys, production is like very critical and crucial. So if you want to test anything, my first advice is try to maintain a backup of existing thing and try to test it in your testing environment. If you will go, don't directly test over the production. Who all are here freshers, and who all are not here with like you can say, who all are here with non-IT backgrounds. So it's my personal advice, because it could be a severe impact to your job and as your ensure that if you're going to implement something and test it, check with your manager what is the testing environment available. You can practice and play your things over there. And okay, well, this is a lot too much technical stuff I'm talking about. So, but yeah, if you are going to deep dive over here in DBA, it's an amazing technology. You will really enjoy while learning it, because you will get to know multiple things. You will learn a Linux, how Linux works, different OS versions. Even though I would suggest go ahead and work over the Windows, work over Solaris, but Solaris will come eventually if you will go and move out in different projects with the IT companies. So first start working with Oracle Enterprise Linux and Red Hat. Make your you can say, make your knowledge good, at least with basic commands in Linux, like what every command does, what is a reason for particular command. And let's suppose if we are creating a file in a Linux using VI editor, after that, what kind of things you can play with the VI editor, just go ahead and do some crash courses, find out some different questions, how you can play and how you can create a SQLs. And I would recommend, guys, create your own SQL files. create your own SQL files, write your own SQL code, anything. Like if you're finding a table in the database using DB underscore tables, if you are just checking with the view, normal basic view, $V database, just format your code and enter it. Eventually, you will learn how SQL coding, SQL texting works and how SQL formatting works, and you will able to understand the Linux as well on the OS level. So these things will help you a lot in the career. Other thing than that, yes, see, you guys are at the initial phase. So I would say like you just need to go ahead and stick to step by step with one point. There is one thing which happens in the technology, that one particular task is dependent on another task. Let's suppose if you are studying the architecture, there will be a point which will come with the backup recovery concept in the architecture, which represents over the large pool, uh, which you must have studied in the SGA portion. So in the SGA shared global area, there is a large pool where all the backups go ahead and works in that particular area. So you will able to understand, okay, what kind of parameters are there with the backups and how it will going to work. Likewise, if I told you, there is a particularly collection for redo log. So redo log has its own different chapter with respect to table spaces, along with the data files and undo files. So each eventually step by step, once it is coming, like let's suppose you have installed the database, you have learned the architecture, you have understand, okay, this particular architecture, from this architecture, I have created and installed my database software, and I have created a container database, and I have created a non-container database. So after that, there is a second step. I need to study the user management. Again, you need to go ahead and do the architecture and then follow with the user management, like how it is going to work. Again, for the next topic, table spaces management, you need to study the architecture, how it will go ahead with managing the table spaces with respect to my database. So you will get an idea, okay, this is a kind of data flow, it works. And trust me, if you will work with this method, you will be able to understand. I know it's really boring to study again those basic things. It happens, but trust me, it will help you. That okay, you will quickly go ahead and revise. Okay, this particular thing stands here. This particular thing stands here. It will eventually you will get an image set in your brain. Okay, this is how it works. But trust me, guys, I have seen in the industry there are people who are having 10 to 12 years experience. They work practically, but still they don't know the basic concepts, or they might have known or they have forget it. They just need to go and revise it. But if you will follow this step, eventually your architecture learning will be, like you can say, to the proficient level, and as well as your practical knowledge will go with that proficiency. So that is like I can say about it. Any questions? Like, would you like to say that how you should proceed? I will ask it one by one. Let me start with Pratiksha, because I can see first here on the screen. I'll go line by line. Yes, Pratiksha.
Yes, Shwatank. So I think there is background noise, not from my
Yes,
end.
Hello.
Pratiksha, go ahead.
Can you please like mute yourself? Yeah. So whoever like have any questions, they can ask to Shweta, like whatever questions you have.
Currently, I don't have any questions. If I have, I can.
All right, thank you. Sham has a question. Sham, can you please raise your hand so we can unmute you? Okay, here you are.
Can I ask one question?
Yes. Who was it?
It's Vijay Patel.
Yes, Vijay.
Uh,
Yes, go.
Do we need the rack knowledge, or we can apply without rack for job as a DBA?
No, you need a rack knowledge too. Honestly,
It's
you will.
compulsory.
nowadays it's compulsory. You need a rack knowledge, but trust me, like in 6 months also you will able to understand the rack architecture. The like the step-by-step direction which I have guided you, that first read the architecture, then start implementing the first chapter. Like suppose installing, you can install the rack also as a
Okay.
fresher, but you
Okay.
need to understand the architecture. After that,
Yeah.
next session, read the
Okay.
architecture and implement it over the rack, even though you can implement it over the data card. That is how I even done when I was a fresher. Like I was like curious to know like how DR works and high availability works, but uh, the this is one of the like you can say procedures which I have followed. You need to create your own lab for this.
Okay. And one more
No,
question
actually,
is, what is your daily duties as a DBA? What you daily do
Okay,
mostly?
so daily duties as a DBA, you can say like when you are in the, you can say alone in the shift, and it depends upon your environment. Likewise, if I worked for US based client, so my
Okay.
backups would be running in the morning here in India time. And once
Okay.
after coming into the shift, like suppose in the evening, so I
Mm.
need to go ahead and check if first are my backups have ran successfully or not. That is
Oh,
one of the first task. Then
okay.
another task is there any alert which has not been acknowledged? Alert
Okay.
in terms of there are multiple database alerts which you will see in the environment with respect to different tools, where OEM is one of the basic tools which is used for Oracle standard purposes. But right now, these days, IT companies are also using the Dynatrace tools, POP tool. There are different tools.
So
So
they will going to provide training on the tools, or we have to do at our site.
you will get a training on the tool if uh, there was a session like how you
Oh,
can go ahead and install OEM. There was a session,
okay.
but
They will give.
yes, but uh, just go ahead and if you will like get into the tool chapter, so
Okay.
try to get more knowledge that what kind of alerts are there going to set up in the tool. Let's suppose there is one alert, a basic alert, like my database availability status.
Okay.
If my listener is down, the target of on the OEM, it will be down over the
Okay.
database, and that alert will get pop up on your screen. You will
Okay.
get mails eventually for that. And that particular frequency is set up to every second. And that every second, it will check the status availability for my database connection. And if my target is down, you need to go ahead and check eventually, okay, what is the issue? There could be multiple issues for that. But yes,
Okay.
this is one of the monitoring tool which is ensured to record the database activities. And
Okay.
it is used for database auditing purposes. There are different auditing. That is another different topic. But with respect to the tool, yes, Vijay, you will get it.
Okay. And there will be a teamwork, or it is individual our task to check
No,
everything.
there will be a teamwork. But right now, at my position where I'm working with Amdocs as a product base. At
Okay.
times, I need to handle multiple tasks because
Mm.
if you say with my current years of experience, like almost I have now 8 years of experience with this Oracle DBA profession.
Okay.
So if I would talk about my day-to-day activities, it's like just eventually working on the alerts in parallel, doing multiple activities on non-prod and implementing one of the change in the UAT environments, handling user request. So this is how we go ahead and manage.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello. Hello.
So, hi, this is Shadab here. Actually, my question is that if suppose I'm from the backup house, okay.
Okay.
So I have almost 10 years of experience. Previously, I was working in Wipro. Now I'm working in Infosys. So if I show 3 years of experience in the DBA, so will I get the question regarding the rack or not?
Yes, they will ask you the question that whether you have worked on rack environment or not. Because initially at stage where do you stand right now? I'm just talking about your stage with your experience. They will ask. Because see, if you're working in the if you have worked in the backup team, Okay, we do eventually run the RMN backups, and you have heard about this terminology. So with respect to different Veeam tools and Veeam agents, that how it works, how it process. So our backup runs on the inactive node where my database services are not up and running. Because see, here in my environment, if I tell you I have a 3-node cluster, my applications are running upon 2 nodes, and from one node my service is up and running. That is also, but from that node I'm working with the DB activities. What are those? My alert monitoring, my backup, any database housekeeping activity. So according to consistency, they will ask you definitely that if you would have some small knowledge of rack experience, and it will come, like if you will go ahead and practice and check that what is the process for clusterware environment and cluster services along with the grid architecture, you just need to explain the simple thorough concepts. Yes, I know how to log in into the rack database, I know how to start instance, how to stop instance, I know about the clusterware services. You will able to go ahead and crack it easily. It won't.
It means I
Create
have
you.
to prepare at least basic things about the rack, right? For
Yes,
2 and
at
3
your
years
stage, if
experience.
I will tell you, like 6 months, you need 6 months to go ahead and get that knowledge. If you will work, if you can study for like 3 hours on daily basis, you can easily crack the interview for the rack in 6 months. Whoa.
Hello.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yes,
And
Sham.
if you have hello.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes, Sham.
Good
Just
evening,
1 second,
sir.
Vijay. I'll ask your question.
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. This is Shyam Sundar.
Yes, Sham.
Sir, I have 2 questions. First is TNS name dot aura.
Mm-hmm.
सर इसमें सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम मेरे को TNS name dot aura में आती है.
Okay.
Then how to troubleshoot and fix it, this type issue?
देखो क्या होता है कि tnsnames.aura ना मेरा क्लाइंट है, ठीक है?
Okay.
क्लाइंट साइड है जहां पर मेरे कनेक्शंस बनेंगे. सॉरी गाइस, आई एम जस्ट स्पीकिंग इन हिंदी टू मेक अंडरस्टैंड श्याम हाउ व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन tnsnames.aura एंड listener.aura. listener.aura में क्या होती है यार कि मेरी ना डेटाबेस की लिसनर की कनेक्शंस की वो होती है डिटेल्स, ठीक है? और टीएनएस नेम्स पे मतलब मान लो कि जैसे मेरे पास 2 सर्वर हैं. एक पे मेरा डेटाबेस इंस्टॉल्ड है, मेरा डेटाबेस सर्वर है जहां पे मेरा listener.aura की एंट्री है, ठीक है? और दूसरे सर्वर से मैंने अपनी नेटवर्क कनेक्टिविटी बना ली और उस सर्वर पे मेरी टीएनएस की एंट्री है. टीएनएस एंट्री किस लिए होती है? क्लाइंट के लिए, यूजर कनेक्शंस के लिए, कि यूजर उस कनेक्शन से मेरा बना पाए. कभी एक बारी ट्राई करना, अगर तुम 2 सर्वर लो, एक सर्वर पे डेटाबेस बनाओ, दूसरे सर्वर पे तुम उसकी टीएनएस एंट्री बनाओ, लेकिन इंश्योर करो कि तुम कनेक्टिविटी दोनों की दे दो आपस में, दोनों सर्वर एक दूसरे को पिंग करते हो. तो तुमने अगर पिंग कर दिया तो ध्यान रखना कि बस उस दूसरे सर्वर पे डेटाबेस इंस्टॉल्ड नहीं होना चाहिए. पहले उसकी टीएनएस एंट्री बनाओ, पिंग करो कि हाँ वो पिंग हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा, फिर देखो SQL प्लस यूटिलिटी तुम्हें इंस्टॉल करनी होगी, तब जाके तुम डेटाबेस सर्वर डेटाबेस सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल करो और फिर कनेक्ट करो, देखो तुम्हारा बन जाएगा कनेक्शन.
सर
और
एक ही TNS नेम में दोनों की एंट्री कर सकते हैं क्या? उसके लिए अलग अलग करना पड़ेगा दोनों
नहीं
के
भाई,
लिए?
अलग अलग एंट्री करनी होती है. listener.aura में भी करोगे और tnsnames.aura में भी करोगे, ये
नहीं
रैक
नहीं
में भी यूज.
मेरा क्वेश्चन है सर, जैसे मेरे लोकल मशीन पे या लैपटॉप पे 2 डेटाबेस हैं. एग्जाम्पल फॉर Oracle 11G है और Oracle 19C है.
हाँ हाँ.
Then मेरे लिए फिर मेरे को TNS नेम दोनों अलग अलग होने चाहिए या एक में ही दोनों को डाल सकते हैं एंट्रीज?
भाई वो डिपेंड करता है. एक सेकेंड, गुड क्वेश्चन. ये डिपेंड करता है ओरेकल की बाइनरी की तरफ तुम्हें डालना होता है. जैसे मान लो कि तुम्हारे एक सर्वर पे 11 GB है और 12 GB है, ठीक
यस
है?
सर.
तुम्हारे listener.aura ना तुम्हारी ओरेकल बाइनरी की 11G ओरेकल होम, ओरेकल बाइनरी और ओरेकल होम जहाँ पे नेटवर्क एडमिन जैसे CD जैसे इफ यू सेट अप एन ओरेकल बाइनरी फॉर 11G तुम्हारे डेटाबेस सर्वर पे, ठीक है,
ओके
तुम cd डॉलर ओरेकल होम नेटवर्क एडमिन पे जाओगे, वहां पर listener डॉट ओरा की प्रोफाइल डालोगे और tns names डॉट ओरा की डालोगे। सिमिलरली फिर तुम्हें ओरेकल बाइनरी 12C की सेट करनी है और इसी सेम प्रोसेस को फॉलो करना है। cd डॉलर ओरेकल होम नेटवर्क स्लैश एडमिन करके वहां पर listener डॉट ओरा एंड tns names डॉट ओरा की एंट्री डालनी है। फिर ps-grep मार के लिस्नर का स्टेटस देख दोनों तरफ, और हर एक ओरेकल बाइनरी को तेरे को दोबारा से सेट करना पड़ेगा, तो तब तेरे को पता लगेगा कि हाँ मेरे लिसनर का स्टेटस क्या है।
ओके, जैसे इसमें सर 3 फाइल्स होती हैं, लिसनर, एसक्यूएल नेट और टीएनएस नेम।
भाई एसक्यूएल नेट इज अ डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट, पर हाँ एसक्यूएल नेट भी एक सिक्योरिटी फाइल है, दैट इज अ वेरी क्रूशियल फाइल विच इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द डेटाबेस ऑथेंटिकेशन ऑल्सो, तो वो भी सेट करनी होती है।
वो सर हम लोग, मैंने नन करके रखी है एसक्यूएल
नहीं
नेट
उसको
और
सेट करते हैं, उसको सेट करते हैं वो। मैंने आपको अभी क्या बोला था कि आप एक दूसरे सर्वर पे अपना कनेक्शन बना के देखो इस डेटाबेस से, तो आपको पता लग जाएगा कि वो क्यों नीडेड है। ये आपके लिए होमवर्क।
सेकंड क्वेश्चन है सर, जैसे मैंने कोई मेरा एक डेटाबेस था, मैंने उसको अनइंस्टॉल कर दिया, पूरा उसका सारा डेटाबेस जो भी उसका डीबीएस होम था ना सर, जैसे मैंने डी ड्राइव में रखा हुआ, उसको पूरा मैंने डिलीट कर दिया सर, लेकिन फिर भी उसकी बैकअप रह जाता है।
मतलब तुमने डेटाबेस को ड्रॉप कर दिया, राइट?
यस सर।
उसका बैकअप रह जाता है, बैकअप कैसे लिया था डेटाबेस का?
मतलब मेरे को सर बैकअप नहीं लेना था, मेरे को डिलीट ही करना था पूरा, लेकिन फिर भी उसका जैसे मैं कोई अनदर डेटाबेस इंस्टॉल करता हूँ तो फिर उसका बैकअप दिखता है, बैकअप
हाँ तो
बैकअप
बैकअप
दिखता
कैसे
है
लिया
पीएल
था
सीक्वल
उसका?
में।
बैकअप कैसे लिया था?
मेरा कहना
आरबन
सर ये
बैकअप
है,
के थ्रू लिया था, कोल्ड बैकअप लिया था डेटाबेस का, कैसे लिया था?
अब मैंने जैसे वो पिछला वाला एक डेटाबेस पूरा अनइंस्टॉल कर दिया, ड्रॉप कर दिया पूरा ही, उसका कुछ भी बचा नहीं है, लेकिन जब मैंने दूसरा डेटाबेस इंस्टॉल किया ना सर, तो मैंने पीएल सीक्वल में जैसे ही लॉगिन किया ना, तो सारी एंट्रीज, यूजर आईडी वगैरह सब पुराना मेरे को दिख रहा है।
सारी यूजर आईडी एंट्रीज
हाउ टू
वही तो
रिमूव?
आपको सेट करनी पड़ेगी। आपने नया डेटाबेस बनाया है, उसमें नया डेटाबेस के अंदर लिस्नर डॉट ओरा टीएनएस नेम्स डॉट ओरा की एंट्री करी करी तो फिर
मेरा ये
इवेंचुअली हो जाना चाहिए कनेक्ट। लाइक यू कैन कनेक्ट विद मी ऑफलाइन और दिखा सकते हो, जस्ट पिंग मी ओवर द लिंक्डइन और कनेक्ट कर
अब मैं
सकते हो
पीएल
ऑनलाइन।
जो अब मैं
तब मैं
पीएल
देख
सीक्वल पे नया कनेक्शन बनाना चाह रहा हूँ, तो वो नया कनेक्शन भी उस पे नहीं बनता है, स्टेब्लिश नहीं
पीएल
होता है
सीक्वल पे या सीक्वल प्लस पे?
पीएल सीक्वल पे।
पीएल सीक्वल एसक्यूएल डी को यूज कर रहे हो क्या, सीक्वल डेवलपर?
पीएल सीक्वल हुआ या फिर सीक्वल डेवलपर हुआ, दोनों में ही फिर वो नया वाला एंट्रीज या फिर यूजर क्रिएट करना है, वो नहीं होता है सर ऐसा।
उसकी एंट्री हटाई है?
हाँ, उसकी तो सब कुछ ड्रॉप कर दिया ना हमने सर, पुराना डेटाबेस का तो।
अच्छा, का बाहर से कनेक्टिविटी ओपन रखी है अपने सीक्वल डेवलपर की? मतलब कैसे का मशीन को इंस्टॉल किया था, वीएम के थ्रू करा था कि बाहर से ही लाइनेक्स में इंस्टॉल
डायरेक्ट
करा
सर,
डीबी?
विंडोज सर, विंडोज
हाँ,
सर,
विंडोज में?
विंडोज पे, विंडोज 11 पे। यस सर।
विंडोज 10? विंडोज 10 में मतलब उसमें करा होगा ना वीएम वेयर टूल के अंदर, पीछे से चलाया
नहीं
तो
नहीं सर,
लाइनेक्स ही होगा।
नहीं डायरेक्टली किया था सर, विंडोज 11 पे।
ठीक है, ठीक है, मेरे को ऑफलाइन दिखाना, मेरे से कनेक्ट
ओके।
कर लेना, मैं आई गेट यू नो, मैं अपना यहाँ नंबर भी पेस्ट कर दूंगा, यू गाइस कैन कनेक्ट विद मी, कुछ भी क्वेश्चन हो मैं बीच बीच में आंसर करता रहूंगा।
एक्चुअली सर मैं एक महीने से ज्यादा टाइम हो गया, मैं वो समझ ही नहीं पा रहा हूँ कि मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ।
नो वरीज श्याम, लाइक इट्स परफेक्टली फाइन, टाइम कितना मर्जी हो जाए, ऑल इट कम्स कि आप अपनी कंसिस्टेंसी रखो, लर्निंग पे आ जाएंगी चीजें। हाँ जी,
सर आप में आपको
आपकी आवाज कट रही है।
हेलो।
हेलो। हाँ जी।
हेलो।
हाँ जी।
हाँ सर, वॉइस क्लियर आ रही है मेरी?
हाँ अब ठीक आ रही है, बताइए। हेलो श्याम, मेरे को आपकी वॉइस नहीं आ रही। लेट्स कनेक्ट ओवर
हेलो
ऑफलाइन एंड बात करते हैं। देयर आर मोर
हेलो
पीपल। हाँ जी, बताइए।
सर, इस तरह की प्रॉब्लम मेरे को सॉर्ट आउट करवाना है, तो मैं वेट भी कर सकता हूँ?
हाँ, नो वरीज। आप आई पेस्ट माय नंबर ओवर हियर। आप लोग मेरे से ऑफलाइन कनेक्ट कर सकते हो। हम इसको डिस्कस कर सकते हैं एक फ्री टाइम में।
ओके,
एक
थैंक यू
सेशन
सर।
बना के, या तो आपका कोई ग्रुप है तो उसमें मेरे को ऐड कर देना, वहीं अपने क्वेश्चंस को पूछते रहना, वो ज्यादा बेटर है। यस विजय,
Okay.
यू वर
Yeah.
सेइंग
Now,
something?
my question is, if I have knowledge about rack and data guard, then it is compulsory to get knowledge of Golden Gate, or I can get
No, it's
job
not.
without Golden Gate.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Golden
Then
Gate is
only
in
rack
another
and
level.
data guard
See,
is enough, right?
yeah, Golden Gate is another level technology. It is not
Okay.
tough also, but
Yeah.
you need to understand the, you can say, good knowledge about the data card. If you will have a good knowledge about the data card, you will eventually understand how Golden Gate works. I'm too
Okay.
handling the Golden Gate environment. So in this account where I'm working with Amdocs, so it came eventually, and I have a good environment with the Golden Gate. So my data card concepts were thoroughly revised, so that is how I am able to cope up with it. It was new for me, and you can say like almost like an year, like I'm working with the Golden Gate.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a cup of cake.
Okay. If we have a good knowledge of data guard, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And well, please share your number so we can connect you directly.
Yeah, I'll get it with the Akanksha. Akanksha will go ahead and
नहीं होगा
check with you with that.
मैंने स्पीकिंग होगा अभी बोलो हेलो हेलो सर हाय सर
Yes, mom. Yes, mom.
हाँ सर ये मेरा एक सवाल था कि बैश प्रोफाइल में जो हम लोग ओरेकल एसआईडी ओरेकल होम सेट करते हैं तो अगर मेरे सर्वर पे दो अलग अलग डेटाबेस रनिंग है 21C और 19C तो क्या दोनों का ओरेकल होम ओरेकल एक एसआईडी सेट कर सकते हैं सेम बैश प्रोफाइल पे
नहीं, SID अलग अलग होगा ना।
हाँ
SID तो अलग अलग होगा। जब तुम
सही
बैच भी करोगे तो फिर सेट ऑरेकल होम तुम्हें करना पड़ेगा, ऑरेकल होम का पाथ देना पड़ेगा 18C का। फिर उसके बाद तुम SID दे पाओगे। दोनों की
हाँ,
SID कैसे सेम होगी? दोनों डेटाबेस अलग सॉफ्टवेयर पे चल रहे हैं।
सही है ये सब तो मतलब डॉट और आई या ENV कॉल करके मैं उसको ये करना होगा
हाँ, डॉट ओरा ENV कर लो। मतलब प्रेफरेंस ये रहेगी कि देखो, अगर एक डेटाबेस सर्वर पे दो ऑरेकल की बाइनरीज चल रही है तो सेट ऑरेकल होम उस बाइनरी का पाथ दो, फिर सेट ऑरेकल SID दो और कनेक्ट कर लो।
हाँ सही है यस सर ओके सर थैंक यू सर
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay, I need to come on this page as well.
Hello.
There, I see one guy over here, Daniel. Daniel, would you like to ask something? Pavan, Vishaldeep, Javed,
Hello.
Anand,
Hi.
Devashish.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, okay, I got two volunteers, Himanshu and Amar. Yes, Himanshu, you are first.
Good evening, sir. Sir, my question
Good
is
evening.
that
Can you speak a little bit loudly?
okay, is it better now? I've raised the volume.
No, there, I cannot still hear you, my friend.
Okay, let me put the thing on the chat. Does it work?
Okay, you may put it on the chat. I'll answer to your question. Amar, coming to
Okay,
you.
how do you monitor the database and optimize its performance on daily basis?
Can you tell me, how much experience do you have in Oracle database? Likewise, I can answer.
Currently I'm a fresher, but I'm exploring the questions if it is asked me in the interviews. Can you
I
please
guess
tell me the roadmap for the fresher to apply as a fresher? How will I get the job? Any
as a
roadmap?
fresher, first understand the basic Oracle DBA concepts, likewise, which I have told you.
Okay.
So, I would say that first, Amar, just go ahead and understand like how Oracle works with the basic DBA task. Okay.
Okay.
Eventually, you will end up while getting answers with related to the performance tuning, because see, performance tuning is an art basically when it comes to tune any technology. So
Okay.
and it will that learning will come up once you will handle the production environment, and you will get an idea with respect to the alerts, because at times in the alerts itself you need to go ahead and do the performance investigation, like with the SQL level tuning, memory level tuning. That's a different roadmap, but it's not for you right now.
Okay. Okay.
For you, the roadmap is like just go ahead and first understand the basic architecture, concepts, and disaster recovery processes. Try to
Compare.
engage yourself more over there, because if you will think about performance tuning, you will not able to understand the architecture thoroughly, and you will make yourself confused with multiple questions.
Okay. So another question. Currently, companies even hiring the freshers, or
Yes, they hire freshers also.
because I
But
made a
they hire, even in our company is also, they hire freshers, but at least you need to go ahead and make yourself understand the basic concepts, because we are check basic concepts. Like we will put down in pen and paper to you, just go ahead and draw the architecture and tell me how it works.
Okay, so I'm pretty confident in the basic concepts about the architecture, user managements, data guard. Like, so I know the basics, like high level steps for upgrade, patching, but I'm not getting any opportunities. Like,
Let me ask you one question.
okay,
Okay.
okay,
Uh, my database is up and running.
okay.
Okay. And I am, it's doing, there is one scheduler job. Do you understand the scheduler job?
Yeah, I know, I know. Like you
Okay.
schedule the backups and all.
No,
Like,
it's not only that. Scheduler
okay,
job is basically, you can say a SQL level automation within itself, the database. Anything. Like let's suppose if I need to make an entry in the table, I can create a scheduler job for that. If I want
uh,
to refresh the materialized view, then I can
okay,
go ahead and create a scheduler job for that. And let's
okay,
suppose one of my scheduler job is running in the DB, and eventually it didn't committed, and my DB got crashed.
okay.
Can you tell me that what will happen to my uncommitted transaction and where it will get stored if my DB
Okay,
is
if
crashed?
suppose there are 100 statements, 50 got committed and 50 are not committed. So after the when you will start the DB, Asman will comes into the picture, and he asks he get help to checkpoint and with the redo log. He asks the checkpoint which statements are committed or which are not, and then he will find in the ready log and start executing those statement, and uncommitted will be rollback.
No, there is a one mess. There is one mess.
Okay.
Because I think it, like you haven't understood my question, that if my database is crashed,
Okay.
uh, so can you just go ahead and tell me, like if my database is crashed, what will happen to my uncommitted transaction? Where it will get stored? My database is down.
Uh, they
It's
will
a tricky
be
question for everyone. Please note it down.
Yes, yeah.
all the statements are recorded in the redo log. So it depends if redo log has recorded those statements.
But
If it is
that is an
not,
uncommitted transaction.
It will not get stored anywhere. It will be rolled back.
Eventually, it will get rolled back. But where it will get stored if my DB is down?
Do table space, I think.
My question is this, guys.
And temporary table space.
No.
no, they use for the sorting
In
purpose
undo block,
only.
It
Undoubtable
is there in the Oracle documentation. This is a homework for every one of you. Just go ahead and note down this question. If I have an uncommitted transaction and my database went down, where it will get to?
Hello.
Hello, it is undoubtable space.
It will be in redo log file, sir.
No,
Look.
Vijay. Okay, Amar. So,
Okay, thank you, Shwatank.
so
Thank you.
हाय सर
likewise, yes, mom.
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था कि मेरे कुछ कलीग्स हैं जिनका भी ग्रेजुएशन लास्ट ईयर में है, तो लास्ट नेक्स्ट ईयर मार्च तक उनका मतलब ग्रेजुएशन कंप्लीट होगा, अप्रैल जून तक। तो क्या वो इंटरव्यू दे पाएंगे, मतलब ओरेकल डीबी एज अ फ्रेशर, और सिलेक्शन हो
कैंपस
पाएगा उनका?
सिलेक्शन यार डिपेंड करता है कि इफ देयर इज अ गुड सर्टिफिकेशन और नॉट। सर्टिफिकेशन पे भी डिपेंडेंट करता है, और कंपनीज आराम से हायर करती हैं कि अगर इफ यू विल हैव अ गुड resume for it, they will go ahead and hire. There are companies who are looking out for these profiles, especially you can say TCS HCL में तो ग्रेजुएट इंजीनियर ट्रेनीज के लिए बहुत हायरिंग होती है।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
Amar, coming to your question,
Yes, Shwatank.
you need to work on buddy on this one,
Okay, definitely, I will definitely work on it.
because see, if you have understand the patching also with the high level steps, okay, so you would have worked on have you
Yes.
understood the rack patching?
I have not actually.
So don't push yourself into the performance tuning first. If you have
Okay.
went through the high level steps till the patching also, that's wonderful, that's great job, and that's a good way to go ahead and learn about. I was in the same situation, but एक बस यहाँ पर बात बोलूंगा पर कि अगर कर रहे हो तो उसको इम्प्लीमेंट भी करना साथ साथ करो, और आर्किटेक्चर से समझो। और अगर यहाँ तक पहुंच गए हो तो अगर तुम्हें बेसिक आर्किटेक्चर भी ढंग से पता ना, तो गो अहेड एंड स्टार्ट रीडिंग रैक एज वेल।
Sure. I will definitely work on that. But I'm not getting the opportunity as a finisher. I'm not come along any opportunity.
मतलब
Along.
आउटपुट एज इन लाइक रोड मैप नहीं मिल पा रहा पढ़ने के लिए कि क्या?
अब पढ़ना मेरा हो चुका है, पर क्या हो रहा है ना, मैं अपॉर्चुनिटीज मतलब कोई इंटरव्यूज नहीं मिल रहे, वैसा इंटरव्यूज नहीं मिल रहे एज ए
इम्प्लीमेंट
फ्रेशर।
करा है सब कुछ, डेटाबेस अपग्रेड करा है?
नहीं देखा है, पर मैंने कैसे,
देखा नहीं है, अपग्रेड करना है।
मेरा भाई भी ओरेकल डीबीए है, ही इज वर्किंग इन ओरेकल करेंटली, तो
हम्म
वो सिखाता है मुझे, वो ऐसे सिखाता है मुझे कुछ कुछ चीजें,
हम्म।
तो मैं देख लेता हूँ उसका, तो जब कर रहा होता है उसके
नहीं,
काम
खुद
तो
से
वो
करो,
दिखा दे।
खुद से करो। नहीं कर पाओगे,
डेफिनेटली।
अगर क्रैक कर लिया इंटरव्यू तो ऑनेस्टली इंटरव्यू क्रैक कर लोगे, काम नहीं कर पाओगे,
हाँ
एंड
वही,
इट
बट
विल
इंटरव्यूज नहीं मिल रहे।
इम्पैक्ट योर जॉब एज वेल। मेरा
डेफिनेटली।
सजेशन ये रहेगा, डेटाबेस अपने एंड पे इंस्टॉल करो, काम करो। ठीक है, तुम्हारे पास यार अपना ब्रदर भी है जो काम कर रहा है ऑलरेडी ओरेकल में, वो भी तुम्हें यही बोलता होगा कि अपने एंड पे भी इंस्टॉल करो।
हाँ सही सही
जब
वो।
अपने एंड पे इंस्टॉल करोगे तो यू विल सी मल्टीपल इश्यूज कि भैया क्या
हाँ
इश्यूज आ रहे हैं, क्योंकि डेटाबेस को इंस्टॉल करना सॉफ्टवेयर, तब भी बड़े सारे इश्यूज आते हैं। नॉट ओनली इंस्टॉलिंग वाया GUI मेथड, साइलेंट इंस्टॉलेशन, डिफरेंट मेथड्स है डेटाबेस को इंस्टॉल करने के, डेटाबेस बनाने के।
हाँ हाँ।
तो उन सबको यूज करो पहले, पहले वो चीजें देखो, अंडरस्टैंड करो एक एक टॉपिक को ढंग से आर्किटेक्चर वाइज। हर
जरूर
एक
जरूर।
टॉपिक के साथ आर्किटेक्चर को पढ़ोगे, अपने आप कॉन्फिडेंस भी आएगा और निकाल भी लोगे
हाँ
फिर
वैसे
इंटरव्यू।
मैंने देखा आर्किटेक्चर इतना बड़ा है कि पूरा लाइफ चला जाएगा फिर भी आर्किटेक्चर कवर नहीं होगा।
नहीं,
तो
आर्किटेक्चर
हाँ।
तो इज बेसिकली टोपोलॉजी ना। देखिए,
हाँ
कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी हो, चाहे मेरे जावा का कोड है, ठीक है, या मेरे पाइथन का कोड है, उस कोड का भी कोई ना कोई आर्किटेक्चर होगा ना कि किस वे में वो चल रहा है।
हाँ
या कहीं भी कहीं भी किसी प्रोजेक्ट में भी जाते हैं इंफ्रा के, तो वहां पर भी एक पूरा आर्किटेक्चर बिल्डअप होता है ना कि हाँ भाई कैसे मेरी सर्विसेज चलेंगी।
हाँ।
तो आर्किटेक्चर हर जगह काम आएगा।
Okay. Okay.
हेलो,
यस समीर, हाय।
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि मेरा जो ग्रेजुएशन है वो अभी नेक्स्ट ईयर मार्च में कंप्लीट होगा, तो
हम्म।
अभी दिसंबर में ये अप्लाई कर सकता हूँ क्या, ये फ्रेशर के लिए, एज ए फ्रेशर में?
दिसंबर में तो नहीं, एटलीस्ट थोड़ा खींच लेना, मार्च अप्रैल में आएंगे आपके पास ऑप्शंस।
हेलो सर।
तब तक अपनी जो है लर्निंग अच्छी कर लो।
यस सर, यस सर।
हेलो सर।
यस हिमांशु।
सर मतलब मैंने टेक्स्ट कर दिया है चैट पे आप।
हाँ, आई हैव टू वर्क ऑन अ सर्वर अर्लियर, सो इट्स लाइक अ स्विच. Now I have joined the course for Oracle DBA and think to do rack as well. Is it enough for interview or also should I prepare for MS SQL and Postgre? भाई आई वुड से कि अभी पहले Oracle पे ही काम करो
हाँ।
और रैक
ओके।
तक पढ़ लो। अगर तुम कोप अप कर लेते हो तो पोस्टग्रेस को हाथ लगाना, ठीक है?
सर
पोस्टग्रेस सीख सकते हो उसके साथ साथ।
ओके सर, क्योंकि मैं when I'm trying to do it right now, so lot of videos and all the things are coming up and doing and looking at the profiles, everyone is like saying that कि in job in a real world you have multiple database to handle, so that is the picture
वो
and but
दैट विल कम विद द एक्सपीरियंस हिमांशु।
okay.
वो से उन लोगों से पूछा जाता है लिव विद माय एक्सपीरियंस, लाइक above 6 years of experience, that if you do work on any secondary level database, that's a good. So I also work on MySQL and Postgres with respect to AWS cloud engines. ये मैंने अपने आप ही सीखे काम करते करते, तो
Okay.
वो कर लोगे। ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, हर रिलेशनल डेटाबेस का फ्लो एक जैसा ही होता है, बट एक डेटाबेस थोड़ा सा अच्छे हैंड से सीख लोगे तो काफी चीजें अपने आप ही रिवाइज होंगी।
One more sir, one more thing sir. Sir
अगर एक एक चीज है और, सॉरी हिमांशु मैं एक मिनट आपकी बात काट रहा हूँ। एक चीज और, अगर मेरा सजेशन रहेगा कि जैसे किसी को भी ऑफर आता है बेसिकली HCL TCS इन्फोसिस विप्रो एज अ DBA, आंख बंद करके चले जाना। आपको कोई भी रिस्पेक्टिव पैकेज देंगे, सोचना मत, क्योंकि आपके पास अगर वहां पर अच्छा प्रोजेक्ट मिल गया तो सीखने के लिए उधर बहुत कुछ है उन कंपनीज में। यू टेक महिंद्रा ऑल्सो, लाइक देर आर गुड दीज बिग शॉट फर्म्स, सर्विस बेस्ड कंपनीज, जिनके पास अच्छे मतलब इंफ्रा सर्विसेज हैं विद रिस्पेक्ट टू ओरेकल एनवायरनमेंट। प्लस पॉइंट आजकल ऐसा भी हो गया कि उनके पास ओरेकल के अलावा भी एक जो है नॉन रिलेशनल एनवायरनमेंट है जो आ गया है, तो
Okay.
दैट विल ऑल्सो लाइक हेल्प यू अलॉट।
Okay sir. सर वन मोर थिंग रिलेटेड टू स्टडीज। सर डॉक्यूमेंटेशन को कैसे पढ़ें, क्योंकि इस जिस लेवल पे है उसमें इंटरप्राइज का रियल एनवायरनमेंट तो समझ इंटरप्राइज का रियल
ऑफिसर की
एनवायरनमेंट
क्लासेस कब काम आएंगी?
नहीं, वो तो है सर, वो तो पढ़ ही रहे हैं, बट अभी जैसे आपने डॉक्यूमेंटेशन की बात की कि ये क्वेरी है और डॉक्यूमेंटेशन भी पढ़ना है, सो वहाँ से ये मेरे दिमाग में क्वेश्चन आया कि मतलब हाउ टू डील विद दिस, कि हाउ क्या क्या मतलब, क्योंकि जब वो पढ़ने बैठो तो आपको एक के बाद एक लिंक्स खुलते जाते हैं और बहुत सारी डिटेल्स मिलती है। उस समय तो कुछ कुछ समझ में आ जाता है, कुछ लिंक्स पढ़ के क्लैरिटी आ जाती है, बट कई बार क्लैरिटी नहीं आती।
वो तभी तो बोला था हिमांशु की बार बार पढ़ना आर्किटेक्चर और उसके साथ साथ इम्प्लीमेंट करके रिवाइज करना है। अब ऐसा तो है नहीं कि एक ही बारी में जो है मतलब सब कुछ आ जाएगा समझ, ठीक है? वो थोड़े से ब्रिलियंट माइंड्स अलग ही होते हैं, बट ये है कि हाँ पढ़ो, टेक
ओके।
योर सेल्फ कि हाँ भाई मैंने 1 घंटा पढ़ा, ब्रेक लिया, हाँ मैंने एक टॉपिक कंप्लीट करा 1 डेढ़ घंटे में, ब्रेक लिया,
ओके।
फिर शाम को आके उसको रिवाइज करा। फॉलो दिस स्ट्रैटेजी, आराम से निकलेगा।
ओके। ओके। थैंक यू।
Okay, all. Now we will conclude this session. It's like almost 1 hour. It's been 1 hour. So thank you, Shweta, for being here and like guiding our students with each and everything. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Akansha. Thank you, everyone, and wish you all the best for your future endeavors and careers.